Hello everyone, my name is Igor Kianitin and I'm going to be giving the ethical presentation on the Ford Pinto. There are two companies that are at fault of the Ford Pinto, which is known to have a faulty fuel tank. The first one that people might blame would be the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. One reason they could blame them is because of the inadequate rule of a 20 mile per hour safety limit for rear end collisions for such cars. One could also blame them in a virtue standpoint that they did not think ahead to be more forward thinking to account for safety of other people. The other company that could be at fault is the Ford Motor Company. This is the company that I'm going to be blaming under the deontologist theory that the value of safety is paramount in this situation. Another person could say that under a utilitarian standpoint, they could have valued human life at a larger rate and happiness overall than money. So this slide shows that I'm going to be talking about the Ford Motor Company. So if Ford did not value safety, what did they actually value? One thing they valued was time. Ford wanted to get their car out into the market first and be able to compete with its competitors from Japan, such as Toyota. This means that they need to produce a car in a very short period of time, and everything was rushed into production in the 1970s. So this happened in only a 25-month period. This shows that they really wanted to get a shorter time span for their production. Because of this, the design was set in stone in the early stages of development and was not revised. And this stage then turned into an assembly where the engineers noticed there was a problem with the fuel tank and acknowledged it, but they did not change anything about it because at the time it still followed the law of the 20 mile per hour collision. So we saw that they valued time and they had a record-breaking concept to production time period. And what else did they value, you may ask? They valued money. They wanted to maximize their profits, make the most money from their subcompact cars, and that is one thing they focused on. They focused on time and money to be able to make the most profitable car. So with the time, you can see over here the Pinto memo. This shows the rundown they sent to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration to explain why they did not need to follow the certain safety regulations that became more strict over time. They used a utilitarian approach to give value to life and monetary value to the fix of the car, which the engineers spotted before the car was even rolled into production. They valued the fix to be at $11 per car. With 3 million cars produced to date, it would have been a very expensive fix for Ford, even though it would come out of the pocket of the Pinto owners. On the other hand, they put a value on life and safety of people as the harm that would come to them from the fires that engulfed their cars because of the fuel tank combustion. This could be proven unethical, which is what I'm going to do. And you can see here that they valued human life lesser than the repair of an $11 part that would have provided a lot more safety for the general public. So we saw that they valued time and money. The one thing that they didn't value was safety. And safety is paramount under the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, Canon 1, which the engineers obviously did not follow. They were instructed to do it in a short period of time, and any changes that would compromise that time period were not supported. So here you can see that Ford stated that safety does not sell. They really wanted to focus on maximizing the profits, and they wanted to do that because they wanted to compete in a very competitive market and not have to wait an extra amount of time to make something that would be more safe for a few amount of people. From a utilitarian approach, somebody would say, well, they did the right thing. They assigned correct values to life and correct values to a repair, so they should have done something right. Well, from a deontology standpoint, I'm going to prove that wrong. In the deontology standpoint, safety would be a lot more important than any monetary value that you could assign to it. You can't put a price tag on life, even though at the time they put $200,000 price tag on it. As you can see, Ford avoided these safety regulations from the NHTSA for over 8 years. They followed them in the beginning of production, but as the rules became stricter, they decided not to change anything about the Ford Pinto because it was making them money. So this goes back to what I've stated about them valuing time and money over safety of other people. And they've avoided the safety regulation for a vast amount of time. So the ethics of the case is, under the deontology standpoint, they violated the American Society of Mechanical Engineering Canon 1, which is to hold safety paramount. And what does that mean in this situation? When they spotted this problem and they knew it was going to harm people, they should have changed the production altogether, no matter how much it would have taken of their time or money. As they've analyzed themselves, it would be an $11 part, and they've accounted for it, and they should have followed through with that to be able to provide safety for their public, clients, and everyone associated with the Ford Pinto. So what is the moral lesson here? The moral lesson is that Ford did not follow or uphold their values of safety, and they should have done so by incorporating the part and valuing human life over everything else. And they should have focused on the code of ethics imposed by the ASME. Thank you.